In the first video, I showed how, with active labels, we don't have to take marketers' words on face value. In the second one, I go into more depth about why creating community answers is so interesting and show a range of the applications that you can use them in. This video goes into how we actually make them, so that you watching this with all your knowledge can start to get involved. We are always adding new features, so if you have any ideas yourself, please get in touch. An answer here is not just one person's answer, rather it represents the voices of a community. The answer gets updated by a team of editors as the community continues to add contributions, such as suggestions for improvement and new evidence. The editors aim to gain and maintain the votes of interested users, some of who may be specialists on the subject or represent the views of relevant organisations. Anyone can become part of the editorial team. If someone is particularly vocal, they can be added to the editor team, or an important person in the field who is known to support this view may be requested to join. If you are involved in editing, you get a similar functionality to a Wikipedia page, so that you can see the full edit history and you can get alerted when someone on the team makes an edit, so any changes can be put back to their original state. As a user, you lend your support to answers by voting. Answers can be further legitimised by supporters demonstrating their credentials. By seeing where information comes from, and who supports and perhaps also funds it, readers can get an idea of the sort of bias they might expect. Newspaper articles will often say, "Science says." For instance, "Science says roast potatoes cause cancer." This platform ought to allow us all to see which scientists and experts are saying what, as well as which interested people or organisations are convinced by each side. As more evidence becomes available, you can choose to switch your allegiance onto a different answer. Wherever possible, people can merge similar answers together, if they are basically in agreement, in order to have less answers representing the views of more people. When merging, you share the edit rights with the other group and then delete one group. Sometimes it is important to be able to question the precepts upon which knowledge is built. By doing this, we can explore the assumptions of a given perspective. Any point or question that is made within an answer can link through to another question that can again have groups collaborate on answering that as best they can. Sometimes you might not want to give or contribute to a particular viewpoint, but you have got a good piece of information to share. So this is what the discussion section on the side here is for. Each question falls under one or more topics, which make up a network of information. Each one of these blobs contains a topic. Each one is for inquiring into specific matters. Questions asked from all points of view can be found in one place here, so you can see what other people consider as important questions, with narrow topics such as using neonicotinoids and the effects on bees, containing very specific questions. This fits inside broader topics such as pest control, which contains wider-reaching questions. Some topics, like this, fit inside others by definition, but also you can see links to other topics because they share keywords. It's worth mentioning now that it's not really about competing to be the correct group, who have the only right answer, with access to the purest truth, and that all the other ones are false. Although it is possible that answers may be based on things that do get discredited, and so would deflate or burst. Sometimes it's not that easy to find a conclusive answer, so instead it becomes a choice between different ways of looking at the matter. Each view may have some truth, but the evidence they choose to use, the way they edit it, and the conclusions they draw can be different, as well as the language and the attitude of the authors, can impact how the answer makes you think. Rather than different groups arguing to be the right one, they can say, "Try looking at it like this," and it's like asking us to step out of our own bubble and into someone else's. There are a number of ways you can help this project. You can find some topics that are of interest to you and have a look around for some answers that you can support. If you find some answers that you quite like, you can vote them up, and if you feel like you could improve them a touch, offer a suggestion. You can help the discussion out by finding evidence to offer into the discussion board, or to post as evidence at an answer that you agree with. If you feel some answers are not getting enough attention paid, then feel free to take the lead and manage your own answer. Also, please do join conversations going on Facebook. We will be discussing particular topics there at different times. And if you have any questions, you can ask them here also.